This is a severe weather alert. You are watching 13 on your side.
Good afternoon, I'm Juliette Dragus. We begin at 5 with the weather. Another very warm day here in West Michigan. Sun and a layer of clouds, but the skies are clearing, and we're also looking at the possibility of storms tonight. So we want to get right to Chief Meteorologist George Lessons with the very latest.
With the clouds this morning, I was a little skeptical that there would be the possibility of severe weather, but skies are clearing and it has gotten very volatile in the atmosphere. One of the measures of that is the heat index. Once again, heat index values have now skyrocketed. It felt better earlier today, if that's a relative term. Now they have climbed to 103 here in Grand Rapids as skies have cleared, 112 down in the Kalamazoo area, 116 in Benton Harbor. I have never actually seen this, Juliette, here in my career, going all the way back to the early 1980s, 80-degree dew point. That is one of the top 2 highest dew points we've ever had here in West Michigan. Combine that with that 87-degree temperature, that's why we have heat index values around 103. Amazingly, the heat advisory was left to expire here for Kent, Ottawa, and Muskegon counties. So I'm going to just say there is a heat advisory in effect, even though officially not from the National Weather Service, through at least 9 o'clock this evening. Officially, it's Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun counties. We're tracking that one small thunderstorm northwest of Milwaukee. That has the potential to blossom into a large area of thunderstorms over the next hour or two. So if you're going to a high school football game, you'll have to put up with the heat and humidity, but there's also the possibility of some severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center says there will be a 95% chance of a watch issued over southern lower Michigan here within the next couple of hours. We've been upgraded now to an enhanced or Category 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather, mainly from Grand Rapids off to the south and east. And that little hatched area means that in that area there could be wind gusts to 75 miles per hour or even higher. There's also a little bit lower risk for hail, and not a 0 but a lower risk for a tornado this evening. So wrapping it up, again, here between now and about 11 o'clock tonight, we have all of those risks for severe weather here in West Michigan. Our confidence right now is moderate, but I think that will go to high as those storms develop here in the next few hours. We'll continue to monitor the situation and have your weekend forecast and when the heat will break in a few minutes. Out here on the weather deck, it is unbearably hot. We have heat index values above 100 once again. Try to get through the weathercast quickly so I can get back into the air conditioning. Hopefully that's where you are. We have some good news on the way. 13 weather ball is blue. A break in the heat and humidity in view. It's also blinking bright. We do have the possibility of strong thunderstorms early tonight.
The 13 weather ball is sponsored by LaFontaine Lincoln Grand Rapids.
The storms over in the Detroit area moved westward, diminished, but it left us with enough moisture to create a little bit of low clouds and some fog and a little drizzle this morning, but that is all gone now. We got lots of haze in the air and very warm temperatures. We're only 87, but our heat index here in Grand Rapids is at 103. Heat index values down to the south as high as 115 there in Benton Harbor at 95. So heat index values are just skyrocketing this evening. It is going to be unbearable for the next few hours, and we will finally see a break from this as a cold front goes through. Right now we've got clear skies from about Kent County southward, and to the north you are still under that overcast area, but right here is what we're watching. That storm right there, these are just going to explode because there is so much energy in the atmosphere. It's already gotten the match to lit these storms. This is going to blossom. Watch how that particular storm just blossoms. This is 6 o'clock. Some storms may actually develop in the next hour up north. This is 7 o'clock. This is 8 o'clock. Look at this complex of storms coming through. This is 9 o'clock. Lakeshore areas are going to see that end first. By 10 o'clock, most of the storms are heading into the Detroit area, and then the rest of the night we'll see skies clear. We'll start to get a little bit of break from that heat and humidity. Next couple of days, kind of humid, but not as hot as it's been. So our severe weather risk, high risk for strong damaging winds, maybe 75 miles per hour or higher, medium risk for some large hail, and this will be just as the storms are developing. A low risk for flooding, and not a 0, but a low risk for a possible tornado. Heat index values and current temperatures are in the upper 80s and low 90s. We'll continue to see those low 100s here during the night tonight and into tomorrow, but the dew points are going to start to drop. Saturday, not so bad in the morning. A couple of times next week, we will see our dew points climb once again. Long range outlook says, oh, here we go. A little bit higher chance for cooler temperatures starting the early part of September for the holiday weekend. And take my word for it, a higher chance for less precipitation during that same time period. So out on Lake Michigan here tonight, you can expect strong storms for a couple of hours, and then skies will become clear. Winds will turn around to the north. Waves will start to pick up to around 2 feet or so. Our forecast then for this evening, early evening thunderstorms, low and mid 60s north, mid 60s from Muskegon south, still very humid, mid 60s to upper 60s up north. If you see a thunderstorm, it'll be in the next couple of hours. Similarly here in the greater Grand Rapids area between about 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. we has our greatest chance for storms. 13 on your side forecast. 70s after 80s tomorrow through much of next week and the following weekend. Another chance of some storms next Monday night and Tuesday, but all eyes are on the skies here for the next 3 or 4 hours, Juliet, along with that very high heat and humidity.
We're just going to stick with you, George. Thank you.
One of the most humid days you will ever have here in West Michigan. That happened today here in Grand Rapids as dew points broke the 80-degree mark. Last check between 4:20 and 5:20 this afternoon, the dew point, which is a measure of the actual amount of moisture in the air, hit 81. That's the only time it's ever done that, including back in 1995 when I was doing weekend weather at that time. So you can tell everyone, yeah, I survived the hottest and highest dew points. Dew points are now back down to 79, 80 Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. This is about as high as they'll ever get here in West Michigan. 13 weather ball is blue. We do have cooler and less humid weather in view. It's also blinking bright. Already thunderstorms have erupted for early tonight.
The 13 weather ball is sponsored by LaFontaine Lincoln Grand Rapids.
A lot of clouds and a little bit of fog and haze this morning, but that's cleared now for Penny Sue. We're going to give you a red paw this evening because of the high heat and humidity. Much better later tonight and down around 70 in the morning under green paw. A little bit more sunshine than we saw today, so 6.0 out of a 10-point scale for creating green energy tomorrow, and the winds are still going to be very light as a stationary front just kind of hangs out overhead. We've been tracking storms now in the last couple of hours. This one up near Mount Pleasant is going to stay away from West Michigan. These are the storms we're tracking now. They've just erupted northwest of Milwaukee and out south of Milwaukee. There's a special marine warning out over the lake. Storm Prediction Center has not yet issued a watch as far as I know, but there's a 95% chance here in lower Michigan that a severe weather watch will be issued. And the main risk will be that enhanced risk, 3 out of 5. And this is the highest risk from damaging thunderstorm winds. This little hatched area means that winds in that area could exceed 75 miles per hour. A lower but not a zero risk of large hail within this area, and not a zero risk, but a very low risk for an isolated tornado or two. So stay weather aware and be prepared for any severe weather this evening. There are those storms that are going to be erupting very quickly. You saw the ones up near Mount Pleasant. These are the storms coming through between about 8 and 9 o'clock of this evening, maybe a little bit earlier. And then by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, the threat will be over here in West Michigan. So it's an early evening scenario that we'll have to watch out for. Just stay weather aware. Long range outlook. We're going to be warming up for the second half of the holiday weekend to higher chances for warmer temperatures for that first full week of September. Higher chance will stay dry as well. Water temperatures out on Lake Michigan still in the upper 60s to near 70. They'll continue to stay in that range through the holiday weekend. There's that special marine warning out over Lake Michigan. If there are any thunderstorms in your area, they'll be early tonight, next to 4 hours or so. Low in mid 60s, kind of muggy. Mid 60s up north as well with an early evening thunderstorm. And here in the greater Grand Rapids area, overnight lows will drop into the upper 60s to near 70. 13 on your side forecast. Not quite as hot or as humid tomorrow, and the humidity leaves us on Saturday morning. Nice Sunday. Lots of sunshine. Monday will be great, but thunderstorms overnight will linger into Tuesday morning. Next week, kind of cool, anywhere from about 5 to 10 degrees cooler initially, but we'll warm right back up to 80 plus as we get into the first full week of September. So Juliet, just stay weather aware and hydrated this evening.
We will. Thank you, George.
The clouds have cleared and a little bit of drizzle here in Grand Rapids has cleared on out to sunny skies and a lot of haze and very hot temperatures, including out here on the weather deck. But at least relief is on the way. 13 weather ball is blue, cooler, much less humid weather in view. It's also blinking bright. We have showers and thunderstorms that have erupted already in sight.
The 13 weather ball is sponsored by LaFontaine Lincoln Grand Rapids.
Let's focus on the temperatures today. They climbed up into the low and mid 90s from Grand Rapids southward, including our current temperature of 91 here in Grand Rapids, which matched our forecast high on your Thursday. We have a bullseye 3 days in a row within our threshold. It is currently feeling like 106 here in Grand Rapids. Feels like 112 down in Kalamazoo, Three Rivers. Also here in Chicago, feels like 116 in Benton Harbor. As skies have cleared this afternoon, it has warmed up. There is now active weather over in Wisconsin. A severe thunderstorm watch was just issued a little after 6 o'clock this evening for 2-inch diameter hail and 80-mile-per-hour winds. And those storms are going to be slicing towards southern lower Michigan within the next few hours. Already a storm-warned storm north of Mount Pleasant up in Clare County. No reports of any severe weather with that, but these are the storms we're tracking at the present time. That's right along this stationary front from here southward. This is where the highest risk for severe weather. Let's get out of the way and show you that skies are hazily clear here, but there are those storms. This is 7 o'clock this evening. This is 8 o'clock, and watch how the storms just erupt. This is around 9 o'clock, between 8 and 9 o'clock if the models are correct, and they just completely explode as they head from Grand Rapids eastward. Any one of these could produce very large hail, damaging winds up to 75 miles per hour, and the possibility of an isolated tornado. But you can see by about 11 o'clock, the threat is over. So for the next several hours, you'll have to endure the high heat and humidity. And then just keep your eye on the sky or on your weather apps or right here on 13 on your side for any severe weather information. We do get a break from the humidity a bit tomorrow. Instead of the 70s to 80s, we'll see 60s here tomorrow, and then dropping from 60 into the 40s between Saturday and Sunday. Another round of some storms Tuesday with a higher dew point, and then next weekend we start to warm up. That's the Labor Day holiday weekend. Heading out to Lake Michigan tomorrow. Waves in the morning around 2 feet. They'll drop to 1 foot, but the conditions will feel at least a little better with a light north-northwest breeze, bringing those waves down just a little bit. Tomorrow, mostly sunny to partly cloudy, upper 70s and low 80s. It'll still be humid, just not extremely humid. Around 80 northern part of our viewing area with some mixture of clouds and sunshine here in the greater Grand Rapids area. Similarly, we'll be up into the low 80s, but dew point still kind of high in the 60s. 13 on your side forecast. After the hot and humid night, we'll drop to 82 for a high tomorrow, 75 Saturday and Sunday, dry all those days. Even Monday will be dry. Any storms will be Monday night and Tuesday morning. And then wrapping up the month of August into the holiday weekend, kind of cool, 70s to near 80, but at least there'll be sunshine.